to my channel. For those of you who are new here, hi love, my name is Zanele, but you can call me Nele. There is absolutely no need for formalities. And if you're returning Sabi, hi babe, thank you so much for clicking on this video and choosing my channel one more time. So today guys, I am back, but with a story time. Okay, our very first story time. I just needed to get this story out of the way because like it bores me. It bores me, it literally bores me, so I had to like get it out of the way. So I was in a relationship, right? So I was in a relationship, and then we obviously broke off, and we broke up. We obviously broke up, and then I decided to stay for some time with myself, by myself, and I was so happy, guys. Like, I was so happy. I was literally so happy. I had no worries. Excuse me. I had no stress. Jay, my life was the bomb. Until this gent decides to mess up my life, come into my life, cause confusion, cause disruption, and just take my peace away. Like, he literally woke up in the morning and told himself that he's going to text me only to cause havoc in my life. So this gent texts me, and okay, we knew each other, but we haven't really like sat down or to speak or to do anything, right? So he texts me and asks me for my number. So fine, I give him. I mean, I'm single. I was ready to mingle a bit. So I gave him my number, and then we started talking on the other app. So we spoke, and then he asked me if he could come over, and so we can have a chat. So he comes over, and he obviously states like his intentions and what he wants us to do and what he wants us to have, how he wants to be with me, how I am the best thing that will ever happen in his life. The lies, okay? Like, every lie that is in the book, I heard it. Every lie that is in the book, I heard it, or at least I know now that it's a lie. So I obviously believed the lie, and then we started dating. And during the course of our relationship, like any other relationship, you get to meet each other's side of the families and the whole shenanigans. So we dated, and then one fateful day he texts me and he asks me where I am. So I told him, and guys, can you please like bear in mind that this guy is inconsistent. He is not reliable. He is not there emotionally, but because I liked him so much, I looked past those things, and I was in a good space in my life where like I never needed someone emotionally, or like I could see the inconsistencies, but it was never really a matter for me at that point. But yeah, so he asked me if he could come get me, and I'm like, no, cool, sharp, I'm at a rehearsal, you can come over, we done. Okay, he comes over, gets me from rehearsals. And guys, can I please just say this in passing? Friends are there to lie. Like, friends lie, it's their job, they get paid for it. Like, friends are there to lie on behalf of their friend. So he comes and get me, and then he's with his friends in the car, and they're obviously drunk. I don't know where they've been. I didn't really care. So they come get me from rehearsals, and their friends are like, yeah, we're so happy you changed our friend. You changed Platinum, so we're going to name him Platinum. You changed Platinum. He has changed for the better. Da 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 da. Like, and I'm there sitting like, I know that's right. I know he changed because of me. Hi guys. So they obviously lie at me, and they lie, and then I take the lie. Okay, and then we drop his friends off, and then he asked me whether shouldn't we go out for like lunch or something. No, it was late. Shouldn't we go out? It was dinner, because it was around 5. I get off around 5 from rehearsals. And then I say, no, it's cool, fine. I obviously call Ikaya, and then I lie. And then we go out. So now, because he's drunk, I'm like, dude, come to the passenger seat, let me drive. So he's like, no, it's fine, you can drive. So I come to the driver's seat, and then we drive to the Highfield Mall. Those of you who know how far Highfield Mall is from Isnambeni, you would know what I'm talking about. So I drive from Isnambeni to Highfield Mall. It's not really that far, but it is a distance for someone who is intoxicated. And I'm saying that because he literally like fell asleep along the way on our way to Highfield Mall. So he falls asleep on our way to Highfield Mall, and then when I was on the other side, because I was using the freeway, right? When I was on the other side of the mall, like on the side of the mall, I was ready to get into the mall. He wakes up and he's like, "Yuwena, begale slima lesuya wena." And I'm like, "Hayibo." So I look at the back seat to try and see who he's addressing like that. Like, you are you talking to me? Like, are you talking to me? So I'm obviously upset at this point, right? I am obviously upset. I'm no longer in the mood to do anything with him, let alone to be in the same car with him. Okay, so I'm like, how? Why you said Uti we should come to Highfield Mall, and then he doesn't answer that. He moves on to the next. So I obviously now I'm agitated. I'm bored. I wanna go home. So I park the car next to News Cafe. Park the car in the parking lot. So while we're in the parking lot, we end up speaking about something else, something totally different. As Sekolaka, in the way he insulted me on our way there. We just speaking generally, like we're preparing to. I think we're arguing about where we're going to. So while we're arguing, his phone rings, right? So his phone rings, and then he takes his phone. And guys, one thing that I forgot to mention is the fact that that guy was a pilot. He had 5 years experience in this field. Like, I'm literally not playing. He's not a pilot, but his phone is like airplane mode. If only okay, you will never see it anyway. But we perete bovu. That's how scarce his phone was. If it's there, then it will flight mode. But it never rang when he was with me. Okay, let me just like state that. So I think that day it's either he forgot to put it to flight mode or something, but it rang. Haike, ya ringa the phone. Pendula pen. He swipes left, declined the call. Hey, and I'm looking at him because I'm waiting for him to answer his phone. At first, like, I didn't mind it. Like, I wasn't paying attention. But until I saw that he's literally, like, declining the call. So I was like, hi, man. And then the person calls again. He declines the call and he says, hi, man, Gantuban know who's busy calling me. and hanging up the phone. They're busy calling me and hanging up the phone. And then I laugh to myself and I'm like, okay, he must think I'm a fool. He must really think I'm a fool. Eh? So sharp, we let that slide. 5 minutes into our conversation again, the phone rings. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm grabbing this phone. I am answering this phone. I want to hear who this person is. Nyani guys, I grab the phone. But I be a good dashboard. I grab the phone and then I answer. Like, hello. And it's a woman. Nah. Hey. It's a lady, and you can hear by the sound of her voice, you can see this person is way older than me, okay? Like, even probably older than him. Like, usi so serious, lo, usisi, oh serious, do you understand? Usisi who probably even buys him groceries or underwears or stuff like that, like, but usi so serious. So I answer, and then I'm like, who am I speaking to? She says, you're speaking to Fan. Who am I speaking to? And I say, you're speaking to Zanel. And she's like, where is Platinum? And I'm like, he's right next to me. And then obviously, because the guy is more worried about Fan finding out about me, he doesn't even care whether I found out about Fan. At that point, I knew that I was the side chick. Yeah. At that point, yo, 100. I knew at that point, guys, I was the side chick. Whoever this girl is the main chick, and they're worried about her finding out about me than vice versa. So now we obviously like fighting over the phone, right? Because like he's trying to get to the phone, and I placed the phone this side. So he's obviously in the passenger seat and I'm in the driver's seat. So now we're fighting. He's like, hi man, let him on phone, man. Let him on the phone. And I'm like, I'm busy speaking to this girl. Hi man, let her the phone. Let her the phone. And he got to a point where he strangles me. Wakipa mandle ndoda, and he strangled me. So now I'm like, hey. So I'm like, you know what, ne? Let me give him his phone before he kills me. Because, man, he doesn't care. As long as this girl doesn't find out who I am, he does not care. I hand him his phone because I heard most with what I wanted to hear, right? Like, I know now, he's obviously like avoiding a girl, probably even his wife, because at this point, you can never know. So I give him his phone, and then I don't know whether he spoke to the girl or he hung up. I didn't really pay attention because it was yo. I get. At that point, I wanted to get home. It was late, and Aksana my taxi. I don't have money for Bolt. Like, but I wanted to get home. I was thinking about getting home and getting home safely. So I was like, you know what? Let me drive inside this guy's car, take my ass home, dump his ass wherever. I don't really care at that point. Like, leave him wherever. Do you understand? So I drive back home. While I am driving back home, we didn't even go for that dinner because I wanted to go. So I drive back home, and then on my way driving back home, he obviously falls asleep again. So while I'm driving back home, I am listening to a song, and I'm obviously in tears because, like, my heart is broken. Like, dude, why would you waste my time? Why would you take me from my peace to make me suffer here? Like, why would you bother me? Why would you take 10 hours of your time, 5 hours of your time a day to try and convince me to be with you, knowing that you have this other person and you have no intentions of being with me? And the scary part is the fact that we used to go anyway. You literally wouldn't have suspected what this person had someone else, right? We used to be everywhere. Ugh, family. You know what? Family. I think we're not having these conversations like enough. Families, guys. I'm pretty sure they know about the other lady. And they didn't even ask what's happening when he brought me home. So, I drive home, and then I obviously parked the car outside, and then I left the door open. I left the keys inside the car. I didn't care what happened to him at that point. I just took my stuff from the bag and I went inside the house. Got inside the house. I cried myself to sleep. Okay, I cried myself to sleep. At that point, I don't care what happens to him. Namabam kidnapper or batati or yay, angindaba, angihlangene. I don't care. So I get inside the house. So I obviously sleep. I cry myself to sleep, and then tomorrow he calls me, and he calls me and apologizes like every abuser does. After strangling me the day before, you couldn't even care to apologize that very same day or that very same time and kind of explain to me, give me the courtesy of explaining what's happening, whether you're with this person or is it your crazy ex or what's happening, right? So he calls me the day after and apologizes and informs me of how sorry he is. It was not his intention. He still does not explain who that other lady is. So because Nami, I did not want to find out, I did not ask about her. And then cool, sharp, we move on with my man. We're good, we okay. I forgave him. Yeah. I at this point because it's very obvious that this guy doesn't have any intentions with me, but still I forgave him, right? I mean, none of guys. Actually, now you're judging me. I'm just kidding, guys. So I forgave him, but my last straw was the day when I went for Ibrai, right? So when I went for Ibrai, and then he has been ignoring me the day before. I called him, he would not answer his phone. He told me around like 4 Uti he's going to sleep because we are gonna the day after. And then I believed that shit, and then I went to sleep. And then the day after Saturday, I was obviously going to Ibrai. That's where like so Manhleli in that house that we were in, where we were having Ibrai. I look over. Noma ngathi izinto ziyafana leya karga muntu wami leya ha irinawe leya. It was him. I walk over to the car. When I walk over to this car, another lady approaches the same car. So I wake him up. He's obviously sleeping, drooling. I wake him up. Hey dude, wake up. When he wakes up, the first thing he says, he's like, ish. So at that point, it clicked to him, Gutio. That's this F. Oh. And then I'm like, and then he's like, yeah, ish. I was accompanying so and so and so, and then I obviously couldn't drive home and I slept. And I'm like, where's your phone? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, your wallet? He's like, I don't know anything. Like, I don't know where my phone is. It's Kia Sisekarini. Yes. That's how reckless he was. It's Kia Sisekarini. And he's sleeping. And then this lady, she's busy saying, yeah, ubani. I didn't even speak to her. I did not even answer to her. Like, I don't have to answer to her. And she went back to the hole whichever hole she came from. She went back there. And I dealt with this man. I took the key from the car and then I went. I walked away. He obviously followed me, right? Because he wants his car keys. And I'm like, you will tell me where you've been. So now we're fighting over these car keys. And now it's causing attention and all of that. And I do not like attention. I don't like attention, guys. So I hand him his car keys. And he asked me if I could drive him home. So I'm obviously crying at this point. I'm not okay. Once again, I drive him home. I drive him home. But at that point, I was like, you know what? I had to like do introspection. You can see, do I really want to be with a person who lays like their hand on me? A person who won't even apologize or take accountability, or even like stick up to his promises, or a person who is inconsistent, inconsiderate, and who doesn't care, who literally doesn't care about you or how you feel when he does something. The only thing he cares about is himself. And I came back with the answer that, you know what, I deserve better. In as much as I like this guy and all of that, but I literally like deserve better. And that's how I left the relationship. And that is exactly how I found out I was a side chick. I did not continue further or even pursue the relationship further to find out who this girl is and what they do and all of that, because I did not have the energy for that. I don't have the time for that. And me and this guy, we haven't spoken ever since. There's nothing we can talk about. We're literally not friends. We'll never be friends. So yeah, like, that's how I found out I was a side chick. And he strangled me, so I couldn't find out about his girl. That is it for this story time, my love. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you took something from it, and you learned that as a girl, there are standards that you should have, and you should know what you deserve, and something that you will not stay for or even stand for. If anyone like lays a hand on you, you should probably go report it. And if you can, like, you can even leave the relationship, okay? Like, don't wait for something even worse to happen. Like, if you have means of leaving the relationship, then you probably should leave the relationship. So Yeah, guys, I'll see you on the next one. I love you. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.